Hello, I'm Paul.
I'm Adam.
And I'm Ben.
And welcome to the Film Busters podcast. The film show with no filters, no prisoners taken, loads of disagreements, but one hell of a love for cinema.
If you want to hear three friends ridiculing each other for an hour or so regarding their taste in films, then you have come to the right place.
In each episode, one of the team picks a film for us to discuss. It could be anything from a recent cinema release to an all-time classic.
So, strap in and get ready to get mad or get vindicated as we guide you through the murky world of being a film geek.
If you like what you hear, you can also find us on Twitter and Instagram using @FilmbustersPod. You can also find each of our individual accounts. I'm at Filmbusters Paul.
I'm at Filmbusters Adam.
And I'm at Filmbusters Ben.
If you want to use your eyes instead of your ears, you can also visit the website at filmbusтерspod.co.uk.
And if busting makes you feel good, you can also support us at patreon.com/filmbusters for exclusive content.
Alright, can we just get on with this now, please?
Filmbusters.
Everyone, Ben is on holiday.
Yes, and he's probably going to be silent and, yeah, he's sunning himself.
Finally, we're about to get some words in, Adam.
I know.
I know. The only reason you don't say much because Ben just speaks so much.
Well, let's see. You might end up having to do all the talking, and I might say the same amount that I normally do. But yeah, Ben is currently off sunning himself on holiday.
He is. We won't say where he's gone because all the fans, might.
We call it an international incident. The island's already had enough of a month that they don't need a second incident.
Spoilers if you read the news.
Yeah, you can work it out from.
We don't want Rasco coming after Ben again.
Oh no, he's found us once.
We love you, Rasco. I love that little interaction. That was great.
I know. I was watching their little video that they did. I didn't know they did this, but I can see when Ben did it because it was just having borderline before he went a bit too drunk.
Oh, I can.
You can see him. You can see him on that seesaw, like tipping. So he was walking that knife edge.
It was a nice level just before it tipped over.
Yeah.
To where's the fish and chips up, Ben?
Yeah. He kept threatening to beat me up.
Oh, he's a beautiful man. We're going to miss him. But we're going to have a lovely little episode, I'm sure, today.
Yes. So, yeah, Ben's away. We're going to talk. Me and Paul are picking just two random films. And what we did is we went on each other's letterboxd and just went on all the streaming services we kind of had. And then picked the films we hadn't watched on the other person's list. And, yeah.
High rated.
Yeah,
ones.
so we pulled ratings of films and I went, I haven't seen this film, which we're doing next episode.
Yes.
And Paul hasn't seen this film, which we're doing this episode. So
yes, and that's The Red Turtle. I'm sure you've read the title.
We are doing The Red Turtle, yes.
It has been a long time coming, watch this. It's been on my watch list for so long.
I know, I completely forgot about it. Like, when you suggested it, I was like, I actually have very little. I can remember bits of it, but I can't remember entirely what it was about.
Yeah. Oh, that's exciting because... I mean, I knew obviously what you rated it because I found it. I found it on your list, so I'm wondering if it holds up to that rating. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, that's
lovely.
But yeah, I guess that we're going to start talking about this film.
Yes,
we're just probably going to go straight into it. We're not going to have a quiz this week.
Nope.
Ben's not done any research for us because he doesn't even know what film.
I've done research this week. I've done it this week.
Oh, you've done the research this week.
Yeah,
I'll have to do research next week then.
Maybe, yeah, you might as well. Just do that then. You just literally you put your hand up for it, so you might as well do it now.
Well, it depends if I can remember.
You won't remember at all. But first, before we get into that, we might as well plug our Patreon right now, which is www.patreon.com/filmbusters, where you can get all exclusive episodes. You can come on the show, you can suggest films for us to do, you can get exclusive little episodes. And it's just a lovely little place over there. And we're doing an episode after this episode, and that somehow relates to the film we're doing today. What are we going to do, Adam?
We're going to talk about films with animals in the title, and our favourite ones and ones to watch, we recommend that you guys watch.
Yes. So it has to have the name of an animal in the title, basically. That's the rules.
Yeah. Apart from that, we can do what we want.
I was tempted. I was thinking, I wonder if an insect counts.
See, I had a film on my list that was just the word animal.
Oh, that would have been bending the rules, but
I know, I put it on the list just in case I wanted to put a curveball in there, but I think I'm going to leave it out because I've got my other ones as well.
I've got quite a few. Basically, I was going to list off saying these are my higher rated ones, but these are the ones I'm going to talk about.
Yeah, I did it the opposite to Paul because I forgot to do it. So I just went for the highest rated ones really quickly.
Standard Adam. I expect nothing less.
Anyway.
Yes, so if you want to go check that out, it's at www.patreon.com/filmbusters. But other than that, should we just go straight on to talking about the red turtle?
Yeah, you don't want my quiz question?
No. Have you got a quiz question?
I was like, what colour is the turtle?
Is it red?
Yes. Payne gets the point because he's
Ben
out
gets
of
the
quiz.
point.
He's so far behind.
Well, let's do it.
For us animators, we know that smallest details often are the most important little moments in the film. They tell the story, and you need the big things and so on. But we can sometimes spend a lot of attention and effort on one small detail, because if that detail is right, then a lot is told. Basically, I asked myself what feeling I want to express, not necessarily emotion, but a deeper feeling. What did I want to express more than anything else? It's a profound awe for nature, but also the light, the seasons, the long shadows, the grey skies. And then I immediately came to a theme which I've loved since childhood. Is the theme of Castaway on a Desert Island. When I wrote the story, I thought, okay, I really need a creature, a big creature from the sea, a mysterious creature, something special. I zoomed in almost straight away on a big marine turtle, and that felt so good. It felt so, I found it, this is it, we've got it. And I even knew then it would be the title. When I was much younger and socially awkward, I often wished I was on a desert island, because then at least the social problem is completely out of the way and I can get on with life. That's not the answer, but somehow I used my imagination as an exercise to understand more of what my place is. I think it's not just an interesting adventure story in general, the Castaway on Desert Island. It's also a way of saying, who am I, what's my place in the universe. We crave for the humanness in music and in other art forms. We listen to music more than ever in history, all of us, all the time, because we need that emotion, we need that sensitivity. And that I think is not different than sensitivity we have to nature.
Right, everyone, today we're doing The Red Turtle from 2016 by Michael Dudok de Wit. Probably got that completely butchered.
Well,
but
you gave it a good attempt. That it sounded like it should be correct.
Best attempt I could. It is a spoiler episode. If you've not seen The Red Turtle, then we're going to spoil it terribly for you. You might want to go watch it first and then come back. I think you will. You probably want to watch it because it's an experience. And
Yeah,
it's
we
probably
watched
best to watch it
when
first.
did you watch it?
What was it on?
It was on ITVX for me, but
I think it's on Disney Plus.
oh, okay, it's on Disney Plus as well.
I think. Let me check this. Let me fact check this quickly.
I watched it on ITVX, but apparently that's because I've got premium. Chelsea pays for a premium service so she can watch Love Island without adverts.
Oh yes, we've heard this
So
before.
I get all of her films.
Oh
not
no,
work.
that's it. Sorry, I was mistaken. It's on the Studio Canal streaming.
Okay.
On Amazon Prime,
Okay.
which my brother pays for. So luckily,
Okay.
I
Does
got
he
it
know
for
he's
free.
paying for it?
He does. Well, this is the thing. He's got quite a few. He's got like MGM. He's got Studio Canal. He's got some other ones. And I'm like, I'm never going to tell him.
No.
Just let it go.
Does he even care?
Probably not. He doesn't watch films that much.
I'm about to say I wouldn't put any of your brothers really down as watching a lot of like Studio Canal is mainly French as well, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's he must have been wanting to watch something very specific, but
Yeah.
well, works for me.
Maybe he likes turtles.
Yeah, indeed. But yes, if you have not seen it, might go watch it first and then come back and listen to us chat about it.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, Adam, what is the plot summary of this film? Because there's no actors that have been
Are you not
in
talking
film we've done
about
before.
We're doing facts first.
No,
Or
you go
research?
first. Plot first, then I'll do research.
This is about a man who gets stranded on a desert island and befriends. Has. What would you say? Instances, or there's a turtle basically who lives on the island or lives in the sea, and over his time shipwrecked on the island, a lot of things happen with the turtle.
Well, they sure do.
Nothing sexual. Actually, saying that, it depends how you look at the certain point the film onwards. It depends how you're looking at it.
It's true, actually. It's very true.
Spoilers already, I'm sorry.
Spoilers, that's fine. We're getting straight into spoiler territory, it's fine. Do you want me to give you some facts?
Yes.
Okay, so Studio Ghibli, they got in touch with the director, Michael Dudok DeWitt, asking 2 questions about whether they could be the ones to distribute his short film Father and Daughter in Japan, and if he could make a film for them. So apparently it really baffled him because, for starters, it's the first non-Japanese film to ever be made under the Studio Ghibli name, and it's his directorial debut. So, like, imagine Studio Ghibli coming up to you and being like, "We want you to make a film for us." That is pretty, like, a big deal. So
it's your first film.
Yeah, imagine the surprise. But, you know, Hayao Miyazaki wanted him personally, apparently, so massive props to him. It then went on to be Oscar nominated for Best Animated Feature, and it lost. Do you know what it lost to, Adam? In 2016. You're never going to guess. But
Like
if you did, I'll be very
Lego
impressed.
Movie or something like that.
No. I mean, I'm not going to say anything. Zootopia.
Oh, okay. I mean,
It's a decent one, isn't it?
have I ever watched Zootopia before? I don't know.
I've definitely watched it. It's about the fox and the rabbit, and the rabbit's a policeman, and the fox is like a bit of a criminal, or he's a bit sly, and then they kind of have to work together to solve a crime or something. I think that's what the film's about.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that one.
I remember it being alright. It's the one with a really slow sloth in it. That rides behind a booth.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yep.
Yeah,
I don't remember
yeah.
anything about it.
Well, we're not talking about that film anyway, so you don't have to worry. Shall we move on to talking about this film?
Yes.
It is my pick, so I think I'll just go first.
Okay.
I might as well. I'll just go first for first impression. So, for starters, I only really liked a handful of Studio Ghibli films because I always find there's a tendency to be a bit leery with their female characters, but consider it's like the first of its kind to break that Japanese mold. And it never went down that road. It kind of makes sense. I thought it was wonderful. The animation feels like incredibly comforting. And I think it's because it kind of reminds you of like a classic children's book, like We're Going on a Bear Hunt, which I've been reading to Woody, so I kind of get that art style feel. So instantly it has like an air of class to it. It also is like pretty timeless, which adds like a kind of universality to it. Like, consider it doesn't commit to a language other than the word hey, and any culture could just absorb it and not feel alienated by it. And the fact it doesn't feel like set in any particular era, it feels very neutral. And I think both of which have really helped it like wonders and sharing it across countries. And as for the film in general, I think it's like a really beautiful story of like humanity and our on-off connection to nature and giving to Mother Nature and our understanding of what it means to like achieve like a lived life. And I kind of want to break it down from beginning to end in this episode, if you're happy to do that, because I kind of enjoy the evolution of our characters go through. And that's my first impressions.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I can agree with everything you said. I mean, like you said, it surprised me when it said, "Oh, this is a Studio Ghibli film." I was like, I did not remember that. There was nothing in this film that leans towards that. I think maybe a little bit of the style of the animation is kind of borderline what they do, but nothing, like you said, it's very... If you told me this film was made in like 85 or it was made yesterday, I reckon it would probably almost look the same, probably just apart from some different quality details. But I think it's really, really lovely. Like, I think it has just done such a good job of like being completely silent. The amount of emotions that you feel throughout this film, just purely because of the music and because of the storytelling and the animation, and the direction of this film is brilliant. Like, you don't need words. Like, I think it'd actually be ruined if anyone was speaking in it. Like, if there's actually any dialogue. And there were some little bits you just pointed on then, and I was like, there's some good points I didn't really think of when I was watching. I mean, obviously on the surface it's probably about a relationship with animals and how you define your life in times of struggle. But then you said like the live life and all that kind of stuff is Yeah, there is quite a lot of metaphors in it, and
I think so.
We just have to kind of talk about it, but that's my first impression.
Very good, very good. So I think let's just go through it. I think it's the best way. So for starters, it's basically the guy. He's in the water. It starts here in the water, so you assume it's a shipwreck, right? Yeah. And he basically ends up on this island. And our first little set piece is he's like going. I just want to talk about this set piece because it made me feel very uncomfortable. He's basically searching around the island. You see it's very, very much deserted, and he sees this barrel floating in the water, which I'm assuming at this time he thinks, is it some kind of sustenance or something?
Yeah.
I assume because he's I think at this point he's had the fruit from one of the trees. So I think he must think, oh, it could be useful for me. And then he slips down this like crevice and gets stuck in this pool that's surrounded by rocks, and he has to swim under through this little gap. Oh my god, I hate stuff like that.
Were you straight away kind of on with the film though? Like,
yes,
this film
I was already into it.
It's got you straight away. You're like,
absolutely. It was uncomfortable.
Did you watch it with anyone?
Feeling. I watched it on my own. I was going to watch it with Zoe, but we started it, and then she was like, "Oh, I don't think I'm in the mood for this." And I was like, "Well, I can't wait around for you, Zoe.
Yeah, no.
I'm gonna have to watch it on my own." But I hate that. Like, the Descent and stuff like that, and also the 13 Lives.
Well, there's a film I watched the other day called The Deepest Breath, and if you hate don't ever watch it. It's about people freediving, and they just basically swim directly down as far as they can by holding their breath, and they go to like over 100 meters below water, and then they swim back up. But they come up so fast they always pass out.
You're not supposed to do that, are you?
They do it all the time. These guys are absolutely insane.
Is it just holding their breath? Do they say?
Yeah,
it's
and then
like
they basically but scuba divers come up gradually.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was thinking.
They're swimming directly up from 100 meters below water, and they most of the time will just pass out.
Horrible, man. You should just stay out of the water.
And there's a thing called the arch that you can go swim through, and it's like you go down and you swim through a little ravine and you come back up the other side.
What is it, like a sport?
Yeah, it's an actual sport. It's a
wow.
It's on Netflix. It's pretty intense. Yeah, I've seen it. Pretty rough film, but
yeah, forget that. I hate that stuff. This made me feel very uncomfortable, and even in animated form.
Anyway, we're getting distracted here. Let's talk about turtles.
Carry on. Yeah, it's he starts building a boat. He starts thinking, I have to get off this island. Yeah. I'm not going to be able to stay here. Any normal person
does the same.
Yes, and all this while he sees there's loads of like curiosities of nature happening, like the turtles hatching in the sand.
Yeah,
and like
little crabs running around, and
the crabs, and then the crab carrying off a dead turtle.
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
It's like the completely untouched world. There's nothing human on this island. Like, no, he's probably the first ever person to be on this island.
Exactly that, and I feel like it's all like just this animal, like just nature and this beautiful nature, and all the while it's almost being ignored by him. It's like he's just worried about himself and trying to get away from this island, even though it's like this haven, this beautiful haven that you could just live in. And he makes a boat. He decides, hell no, I'm getting off this island. And then as he gets into the sea, something comes knocking. It's knocking on the bottom of the boat and smashing his boat up.
It's the angry turtle. I will give him this at first. Like, I know. This turtle's a bit of a prick.
What do you think about it? Why do you think the turtle keeps smashing it?
I just think it's his territory. It doesn't know. It's scared of. It's probably just as scared as you are of it. Like,
yeah.
I think
this is like another theme I keep getting. I feel like, I mean, when it comes to it, he almost has like wrath towards the turtle.
Yeah.
Right. But this poor turtle just crawling on the sand. He clearly has no kind of malice. Right?
No, but this is the thing. It's still stopping him from getting off the island. It stopped it 3 times. It destroys his little raft.
It's true, but it's just. I feel like it's just nature, man. It doesn't understand what it is, so it's just smashing it every time. And I feel like this is something that he kind of learns along the way, that he kind of picks up on, because he gets this other. It gets to a point where he's basically given up, and he's just laying on the floor, and he's almost being taken over by nature, like these centipedes crawling over him, ants are just on his body.
Nature is one. Like the humans, without your guns and stuff, you are.
Yeah, and it's just nature just continues on, no matter like whatever humans are doing, they kind of do their own thing. Nature just continues doing on what it's doing, and he also has this very beautiful little set piece where he wakes up and there's like an orchestra on the beach.
Forgot about that part.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what he's trying to say, but he just, and also he also wakes up to he dreams of a bamboo bridge. I mean, you can understand.
Yeah, he's
the subline that
you probably haven't eaten properly. He's just eating these weird fruit and
probably
not
giving him like hallucinations.
Salt water and like.
Yeah, absolutely. He just drinks from a little puddle in the middle of the forest, doesn't he?
But anyway, this isn't even like the most interesting part of the film. It's
I know,
kind of like...
but we're building up, and he basically decides to make the boat again after making some trousers from a dead seal.
Did he get the seal?
Don't you remember he comes across a dead seal?
I fucking did not remember that part, but yeah, carry on.
So you see the seal at the beginning.
Yeah.
Or the sea lion, whatever it is. I can't remember what the difference. One of them's got ears, one of them hasn't.
Yeah. I can't remember for the sake of this.
Yes. But anyway, he sees it at the beginning, but then he sees it again. And it's dead. And he goes over to it and he like cuts it open and he's like, oh, and he like there's like rotting. I don't
remember that part.
Yeah. And then next scene he contemplates something, and then I think next time you see him
wearing trousers.
He's wearing like some seal trousers. It's like, okay. And it's like, I think this is just another way to show like a different side to, it's not really nature, it's kind of like
this is human at its rawest form. It's like making tools, it's using what's available, like I don't know,
definitely
human against nature,
exactly. And he goes sailing again, and he finally sees the red turtle up close, and it's him. He's just looking over the side of the boat, and he's like, this is the motherfucker.
I thought it was like a shark or like a
this beautiful red turtle, and smashed his boat again. And with all his wrath, this poor turtle just crawls onto the beach. Man, it's a horrible scene.
I know, and I remember even re-watching it now, I was like, nah, he doesn't do this. He doesn't do what we're thinking he's doing here. Like,
yeah.
But, so why did the turtle come up? I think it's obviously to like lay eggs or something.
Yeah, surely.
That's what they do, but like...
Yeah, that's what they do, yeah.
Maybe that's why it was like a pregnancy turtle and it was like trying to protect its like, beach of like where it's going to lay its eggs. And
true. That's very true, yeah.
They could do something like that. But yeah, and then... Yeah, this is when it gets spoiler for it, guys. He flips the turtle over onto its back.
After smashing him on the head with an oar.
Oh yeah, and then he jumps on him as well.
Bamboo. Yeah. Fuck, man. This helpless turtle.
I know, that was like... Even this is the thing I thought, it's like he comes back round and saves it, and then for some reason I thought the film ended with him like and the turtle becoming friends, and like the sea turtle actually helps
did you
him.
Forget all this?
I completely and then as soon as it happened I was like, okay, now I remember where this film went. I mean, I watched it, I want to say 6-7 years ago, like when it was 2016 it came out, you said?
2016, yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't, I think it was about that 2017 mark, probably 2018. I watched this film, so
interesting. And it's just like, man, at this point clearly you knew where it was going, but I was like, this film's called The Red Turtle, and he just fucking killed it.
Yeah. And now what the film's about? And
he's no longer red; he's like grey because he's obviously dead.
Died.
And I think at this point in the film, depends on how you're kind of viewing this film, it can almost be like, is the rest of the film in his imagination?
Yeah, or it's just... Yeah, I mean, this is the part where the film does get a bit... This is when almost the beauty of the film kind of comes out of it.
Yeah, for sure.
But at the same time, now... It's like he said he's hallucinating before. Is he hallucinating now? Like, what's he doing?
Yes.
Like, where's he gone? Is he gone completely insane? He's killed the only thing on the island that is keeping him sane. And, like, giving him a purpose. And now... Or if, he's just living with the... I don't know.
Yeah, I like that little idea you had about him smashing the boat because the baby turtles are hatching around all this time.
Yeah,
and it's like for the turtle to be trying to
Defending
destroy
her
any
nest.
predators, kind of thing, because they know that the turtle knows that the baby turtles are going to go into the sea. That'd be a good idea. Why it's actually smashing? Yeah, it's like it's literally because he's trying to get his little babies to survive. I like that. Nice. But he doesn't feel bad at first.
He's first thing to escape again. Like,
yeah, it's like, this is the time I can actually just build my boat now and I'll be fine.
yeah,
And all the while this turtle's in the background just with its saggy neck, and I'm like, oh man, this is horrible. And I think what he builds the boat, doesn't he? And then as he goes into the water, he just pushes the boat out.
I thought the boat
like,
got destroyed again by the sea.
It doesn't. He goes out into the sea and then just pushes the boat away. Like, I'm not escaping. I need to get back to this turtle. And this is what he tries to save. Yeah, he's throwing the water on the turtle's head.
Yeah,
and
he's trying
to give it water. Yeah, build it.
Yeah, he builds a little shade over it, and then
after the crack, the turtle suddenly cracks.
It's so dried out.
Yeah, so dried out. And we eventually see a woman is inside. And then this is where I was like, oh, here's the Studio Ghibli bits. This is Studio Ghibli.
He's already like his age, though.
Yeah. And then he builds a shade, and it finally starts raining, and she wakes up, and she disappears, and she goes off on her own way. All the while he's trying to find her, and eventually finds her in the middle of the water, and he offers his shirt to her. And she takes it and she disappears again. And then
but now he stops trying to escape from the island, doesn't he?
Yeah, this is where he builds the boat and pushes it away. Maybe the boat does get destroyed, unless it does.
I thought he tried to, I don't know, I thought there was like a reason, like you said, like the turtle wasn't really the one stopping him getting off the island. Like nature itself would have got you at some point. It might have been saving him. It might have been telling him, don't go back out there, you'll die. Like, it could have been all of that kind of stuff. It could have been trying to save his life, to say, no, you live here with me, like, and now you've killed me.
And then this beautiful scene happens. Because he makes the boat, pushes it out to sea, and then he just lays in the sea.
Yeah.
Like he just lets himself float, and the woman comes to him.
Yeah.
And then they start swimming together.
It's almost like he probably killed himself there, maybe, and now they're living together in a fantasy land.
Absolutely. And at this moment, I'm like, do I want them to speak? Do I want this to be the first time they speak? And then it's almost like, I don't know. It's quite beautiful that they don't. It's all just like with hand gestures, and she's like feeding him mussels, and you can just see like the dread in his face that of what he did. I think he has like a flashback of him hitting the turtle over the head.
Yeah, his guilt.
Yeah,
like,
his
I've
guilt,
created this beauty, but at what cost? Of like.
And then this, before it cuts like down the line, this, I think that what he's been waiting for happens. This human interaction, and she touches him on the face.
Yeah.
And it's almost like you see this is bliss. Like he's been waiting for this. And he follows her, and they kiss, and then it's like, did something happen here? Did something happen
pregnant.
here? Yeah, and then it cuts down the line. There's a baby.
And now this is the part where, did he fuck the turtle? Or did he fuck her? Like, and how far down the line is this animal changed enough for like what you're? But
well, it kind of feels like maybe she is part turtle anyway, because the son is able to hold his breath for ages.
Yeah, and then the daughter, they have another kid, don't they?
They only have one kid.
No,
one kid.
Sorry, the kid leaves, doesn't it? And it turns into a turtle as it swims away.
Oh, does it?
I don't know, I swear. Or unless it went off to swim the turtles.
Well, I think it goes off. Yeah, swims with turtles. I think what happens is it's.
That's why I thought there might have been a second kid. That's why it confused me. Because
I think you're getting the gradual growth of the child.
It's and then it
growing up with nature. Whereas he hasn't been growing. He obviously has been living in the city, and then eventually comes and shipwrecks on this island. So he has no kind of connection to nature, but he kind of grows up in this natural world, and he feels like more one with nature. This is what humans should be.
Yeah.
And where he had this detachment, and he has this like this inquisitive nature about him when he's like finds the bottle with a cork in. I think it's just kind of say something about children in general, how they are so much more inquisitive about the world, and stuff is
Also,
so much more interesting.
What is it? Your nature and nurture, isn't it? And all of that. But yeah, I mean, this is where the film gets. This is when it's kind of open. This is where the beauty really does come out, when it's growing up with the family, and again
Absolutely.
with all of this with no dialogue. And the film, was it only just over an hour long, isn't it? It almost feels sometimes at points reminds me of those bits like you had before a Pixar film, and I don't know if they do them anymore now. But like the Baobab film, do you remember all that kind of stuff before? If you went to see Pixar films in the cinema, to do like a short film, it's like that, but just on a different scale of like.
Absolutely, yeah.
What
it's like a beautiful moment.
Yeah, and everything's done. There's very little sound. There's very little speaking. It's all down to music. It's all down to this
emotion.
And this is what it is. It's just taken this to another level.
Yeah.
And almost when you're watching this film, you're not thinking about it like the way like me and you are discussing it now, because you're just in the film and you're just swept up with it, and you're thinking of it. Or like little bits here, like I'm not like, oh, what does that actually mean? Like you're just kind of just rolling with the film, and it's now only afterwards you're like, okay, what did that mean and what to talk about? And yeah, but in the film itself, everything's just, I don't know, everything's also like it makes sense, but without them saying anything. And it's only when you talk back in it now, you're like, wait, did that mean that, or did it mean this? Or
yeah, for sure,
all of that.
Like it is just raw emotion. You know exactly what's going through their heads, what they're trying to say in each scene. I feel it's just like it just comes out as emotion rather than having to kind of dig deep into it while you're watching it. But I feel like there is like kind of layers that can be unpicked, and then there's this great scene where it's basically a tsunami, and the whole beach kind of all the water disappears, and you just see the fish bouncing. Yeah. And it's like, oh shit, man! Fucking
and he's
tsunami.
trying to save him, isn't he?
Yeah, and he has to go fight. Both his parents disappear, and his mother's like in the middle. I think she's in the middle of the forest or up a hill or something, and he's in the middle of the water, and it's just all about this is what matters.
Yeah,
this is what life's all about. Especially when it comes to the ending, it's like this is.
Yeah.
He just lives this man. His son basically, it gets to a point where he just wants to leave. He's not happy anymore.
Yeah,
he's depressed, and
he needs to go off and find the world, doesn't he? He needs to
find his red turtle.
Yeah, like whatever. He needs to find his shipwrecked island. Like,
yeah,
you can't spend your whole life living on that island. But
absolutely, and so this is what you meant. He leaves with the turtles because he
becomes one again.
Yeah,
it was almost like he's taken from the sea, and now he's given back his son to the sea. Like, his mother and gave back his son. Like,
yeah, absolutely. And then the mum and dad are just left on their own, and they swim out to sea together, and you just see them grow old, happy together. He did not ever need to leave the island. He found what he was looking for right there.
I think that's that point that you made in your little thing at the beginning. It's like, what do you class as a lived life? It's like,
yeah, exactly.
The guy is never. As soon as he found her, he didn't try and leave. He didn't look as a way of leaving. He just looked at building his life on the island. Mm-hmm. And now, and at the end of it, happy to die there as well. Like, that is his life.
And it's just that beautiful scene of him. They're both lying on the beach, and he just looks out to sea one more time.
Yeah.
And then he just turns away, and then she just knows instantly he's just died.
Yeah.
And then she turns back into a turtle. And you're like, was he fucking a turtle this whole time?
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things you don't really want to never know the answer to it.
I don't think he was. Think he was.
The turtle was fucking him.
Yes. The turtle made the first move. I think it was really beautiful. It's a nice little beautiful.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you enjoy it more or less than you thought you were going to enjoy it?
Let's do our ratings and then let's say that.
Okay,
so I'm going to say mine. I thought it's a very solid high 8 for me. It didn't hit the 9s, but I don't know whether it's half come from expectation of it being something more amazing than it was, because the amount of ratings I saw on this, it was like 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10.
Okay.
So I kind of had that, like, okay, I need to really enjoy this film. And I did really enjoy it, but I don't think it's, especially now, right? Once I finished watching it, I was like, well, I don't think I need to watch this ever again, because I got it first time.
Yeah, I get that. I've never, and also it's a film like it happened, and like I haven't really thought about it since. It's like you're reminded of it, but you forget the details of it. And I had it down as a 9 before. I would say, looking back at it now, it probably isn't that 9 level. It is a very high 8. But yeah, I still appreciate the way. I just think, yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, it's just beautiful. And it's nice, but at the same time, I don't know how, like I told you, it could have been better. It's a really weird one.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
I feel like it just
it's
needs,
a feeling.
I don't know. Yeah.
I feel like just what this film is, just like it's just the whole film is just a feeling. It's all
also,
feelings.
you're probably never really meant to give this film, but like you're not meant to rate it. You're meant to just sit down and go, cool.
Absolutely, you're supposed to enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's a hard one.
It's a hard one to dissect, or not like dissect. It's quite easy to. It's a hard one to criticize or like really like. You never. Yeah, it's not trying to do all the. I don't know. It's just it's a film that's in beauty and simplicity, and then you can't really have a go at it for doing that.
Yeah, just as it's giving you like all the feels, it's like you've got to go with how you feel at the end. And all I can say is, I thought it was great. I just don't need to watch it again.
Yeah,
and that is kind of.
I'm glad you have watched it, and your life's better.
I'm glad. Very glad I watched it. Very glad I watched it. But yeah, that's it.
What do you reckon Ben would give it?
Well, he's already rated it.
Has he? Has he watched it because we're watching this? Okay.
No. He already had watched it, and I got his permission, and I said, "Are you going to keep that score, or do you want to rewatch it before you put your rating to it?" And he said, "No, take my rating," and it's also an 8 out of 10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's straight down the line, 8 out of 10 from all of us. So yeah.
Sorry, guys. Add it into our lists of films, or
yeah, I think we should add it into our list of
we'll
films.
Let's see how, won't we?
No. Let's try place it now.
Okay,
and then we might be able to use some of our knowledge of what Ben rates other films to see where it places. Okay, so we're in our 8th category, and the first film we've got to try and leap over is Melancholia. I think I give Melancholia a 9, so I cannot.
I think this is better than Melancholia. Yeah, I would say.
And
I say
this
Ben
is the
would
thing.
say this is better, but.
Oh, that's the thing.
Ben gave it a 6 or something, didn't he?
Oh, it might be falling at the first hurdle. What did he give Melancholia? He gave it a 7. So this is better than Melancholia.
Yeah.
Okay, so it skips over Melancholia. We'll go to Reanimator. This is better than Reanimator.
What? Okay, I'll say this is... Yeah, I'll give that, yeah.
Okay, Strangers on a Train.
I'd say this is better.
This is better than Strangers on a Train. Yeah, okay. Straight over. Sing Street.
I think
that's a tough one.
Better.
That's a tough one. Oh, baby.
We'll leave it for Ben. You can just...
Yeah, let's leave it under Sing Street, and that's where we're going to leave it for now.
Yeah.
We've got Sing Street above it, Strangers on a Train below it. We'll wait till Ben comes back, because he's going to be the one to cement
sort that one
where
out.
this actually fits, yeah. Okay, beautiful. That's a nice nice bit of placement, though. It's quite high up on the list. Lovely. I mean, I kind of imagined it to be. I thought you were going to stick with your 9, though. That's the thing. So that's
I did think about it, but I was like, no, I need a...
That's fair. Okay, well, that is The Red Turtle, everyone. We hope you enjoy that. Shall we talk about what our patrons have to say this week? So our patrons, they let us know what they've been watching this week and what we should watch and what we shouldn't watch. You can do that too at www.patreon.com/filmbusters, and you become part of the family, just like the likes of Luke Bennett.
Yes, you can also join Francis Ciberini.
You can also join Andy Bishop.
Okay, you can join Steve and Mark from Movie Drone.
You can join Brent from Home Video Hustle.
You can join the second Luke of the party, Luke Human.
You can join Mr. Nerdrovert.
Can you also join Julio?
You can join Mr. Teach, Mr. Jamie Russell himself.
You can join our second couple, Katie and Oti.
Absolutely.
Or our first couple, I'd say. Maybe they were there first. They were the first.
The first of the first. Do you want to go first? Shall I go first?
You go first.
Right, so first of all, we got Luke Human, and he says, "Nothing bad this week as I'm on holiday and consequently in a great mood. This may be why I thought so highly of 2015's Knock Knock, courtesy of a prompt from Movie Drone. After excruciating opening, things go from bad to nihilistic brilliance, as Izzo and Diarmus have a whale of a time ratcheting up the chaos and stakes for Reeves' sap. It's unclear as to whether this is exploitative, titillation, or moral sermon. Based on Roth's other efforts, it's probably the former, but whatever the intention, Reeves has never been better, and if Nick Cage had given the same performance, everyone would have been raving about it. An absolute fuck you to middle-class smugness that just wants you to revel in some uncomfortable and potentially unwarranted creative justice." Wow.
Have you
Luke,
seen Knock Knock?
I have, and it's not good.
No, it's awful.
It's
I don't think I've ever seen the whole of it. I don't think I've ever seen the whole of it. I can't really remember much. I remember one scene of it because, yeah. But when they're in the shower together. But,
it's just sleazy.
Yeah, it's all a bit. I don't know. I can see kind of, but then also it just doesn't execute any of it in any way that's I would say is good. I am sorry. Is it Luke? Is it Luke or Luke?
Yeah, it's Luke Human. Luke Human did this.
I am sorry, Luke. I am going to have to disagree with you on that one.
And I'm going to disagree as well. I'm
glad you enjoyed it though, because everyone should enjoy something. But
I think he potentially might have liked it more than Movie Drone did. I think
he probably liked it more than anybody in the film.
In the film,
Keanu Reeves probably didn't even
disappointed.
like making that film. Actually, he probably did. To be fair, he got to hang out with Anna de Armas naked for a bit.
True. I mean, it is Eli Roth. I mean, it doesn't surprise me. This is his kind of stick. And it just reminds me of that Piranha film, Piranha 3D, and Eli Roth's in it, and he's the one hosting the wet t-shirt competition, and I'm like, of course you are.
Doesn't Scott love that film?
He loves that film so much, too much.
He gives it like a 10 out of 10.
Oh, I know. It's no good. No good. Well, thanks, Luke. Everyone should watch that or don't, depending on whose opinion you want to go with.
Next up, we have Jamie Russell. And he said, shameless plug for my next appearance on the Movie Duel pod on underappreciated Sam Raimi films. For my two films this time round, my recommendation is The Quick and the Dead, a dynamic tongue-in-cheek homage to westerns with a stunning cast, all of their A games. The other film is Peter's choice of Darkman, which is hardly a bad film, but it doesn't match up with my choice, of course. So yeah, I did pick in The Quick and the Dead.
Yeah, he picked The Quick and the Dead, which had been on my watch list for so long.
I don't think I've seen either of those films, so I can't comment on it. But yeah, he also goes to say
it's not good though.
Okay, I haven't seen that one. Is that not good though?
Let me look at my review of Darkman. I think it's I expect it to be really good because everyone always spoke about it. But I gave it a 6. I said Darkman has been on my radar for a while, and sadly it did disappoint.
Okay.
I was about to say did not. It did disappoint. I appreciate some aspects of the prosthetic design, but in full view it looks incredibly rubbery. The film in general also feels very outdated with some terrible green screen. It has a great score though.
Okay.
So there you go.
There's something. So you're going to go with Jamie over Peter then, I take it?
Oh, well, the quick. You know how I'm with westerns.
Yeah.
So I imagine The Quick and the Dead be right on my street.
Yeah.
I think Leonardo DiCaprio's in The Quick and the Dead.
I don't know. I don't really know much about him, but yeah. Anyway, Jamie also finished it off by saying, I would be grateful for a listen and all feedback. Ideally positive is welcome. So go and check out Jamie's
you'll get
podcast.
exactly what we give you, Jamie. We can't just automatically make it positive. Come on now.
Exactly.
Especially Adam.
You have
Adam
to
just
deserve it.
won't even listen.
Well, yeah, you should. Yeah, that would be if I listen. That's enough. That's enough positive feedback. But I'm not making any promises on either. If I wasn't on this podcast, I wouldn't be listening to it.
Exactly. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you for that. I'm definitely going to watch The Quick and the Dead very soon. Anyway, after that. Okay. Well, that's the Red Turtle, guys.
Yeah.
I guess. Oh yeah, we got to tell people what we're doing next.
Yeah. So the next one is I picked off Paul's films, and the film I was picking off there was two films, wasn't there? One of them was Train to Busan. Is it Busan?
Train to Busan.
Yep. But I went for a complete different end of the stick in the end, and I went for Pride. So I know Paul spoke about it a lot. Ben's watched it yet?
Ben hasn't watched it yet.
Okay, Paul spoke about it a lot, and I feel like it's been brought up on the podcast quite a few times, just in passing end of year wrap ups and stuff. So me and Paul are going to talk about that one next week, while Ben is still away sunning himself.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to that. We spoke about it so much. It deserves to be part of Filmbusters lore.
Yeah, on that chart forever.
Exactly. Well, guys, we hope you enjoyed that. I think you should go subscribe to the Patreon, because we're going to go speak about animals in the titles of films.
Yes.
And the ones we like.
Yes. I don't know how many of the films actually have animals in them. I think all the films I picked don't actually have an animal in them.
That'd be interesting. I can't remember, but I'll definitely tell you.
Okay. Actually, no, one of them definitely does. So,
well, you people listeners, you won't be able to know unless you subscribe. So we'll see you there.
Filmbusters.